G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video on how to be able to start configuring your server now that you've made a server. So a lot of people don't even know that they need config files, and it won't be until probably with 10 hours into playing on your server that you'll start to realize that you want stuff in your game and you want stuff out of your game, and you don't really know how to do that. And this is where creating config files helps to be able to start to really mod your game, your server, so that you have the game mode that you desire. And a lot of it comes down to really is like adding in and removing assets. Sorry guys, I just hiccuped there right in the middle of my sentence. So an example of a config file would be that you don't instantly die when you're headshotted. That you can make medical a little bit more easier for smaller populated servers, so you're not having to bring in an ambulance full of supply to be able to use a medkit to heal people. And maybe you want your medkit to heal people fully so that there's no need for them to run off to somewhere to try and get further healed. Or maybe you want them to be able to like continue to sprint along with the rest of the group and they're not lagging behind. So, you want a medkit that completely heals someone. Maybe you don't want any vanilla weapons in your arsenal. So this can all be created. So a garbage collector, maybe you're asking, what the hell is a garbage collector? So what that is when somebody gets like a vehicle and they drive it somewhere because they're trying to get into the fight from a spawn point, and they leave a vehicle in the forest and then they run, 100 meters to you guys and then you start fighting. Well, what a garbage collector does then is it will find the distance away from the nearest player, and if it is configured correctly, it will then delete that asset out of the world so that you don't end up with a whole bunch of lag because there's 100 jeeps parked in a forest from people continuing to come. So I'll teach you in this how to be able to create that as well. While I have a whole bunch of, say, funny names for mods on the screen here on my wallpaper here for my desktop, I also want to show you how to be able to like collect these into mods so that you create core mods for your server. So you can think of this as a very beginner tutorial on how to start configuring your server so that it reflects the gameplay that you want. So this is really exciting for you because you're literally now stepping into the next stage of being a beginner server owner. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first mod we're going to make is going to be no insta death for Ace Medical, okay? And I want to pretty much create all of these mods using a base mod. So for example, for the medical ones, we're going to use Ace Medical. For no vanilla weapons, okay, we will use no mods, and then I will add RHS to it so that you can see how, as you add that, modify the same file and how you can see them appear in your overridden file, okay? Then we're going to use just the base game for this one. And then for this one, we will use both vanilla and RHS, okay? And then when I say RHS, I want you to think that whenever you put in any kind of modded weapon, you will find that it will appear in your config file for these. None of that makes sense right now, and it shouldn't, and that's fine. But what we'll do first of all, let's start with no insta death, okay? So for this, we're going to need to make a new project. So let's just open up Arma Reforger tools. Let's start by making ourselves a new project. So add projects. Actually, what I want you guys to do first is I want you to see if you can find all your mods in case you haven't done this. So we need to find your mods in your game profile. So you want to go like search for projects, okay, and you basically want to find your game profile. So it's normally on your C drive, but it'll be like where you installed it with Steam. But normally it sits in your C drive, like documents, my games, and then you will see you'll have a whole bunch of profiles within your C, unless of course you've moved that yourself and then you know where that is. So if we just go to Arma Reforger, add-ons, and it's all in here, and then you can go select folder, and then what it will do is it will populate your projects with all other people's mods, and you'll know they're other people's mods because they're locked. You'll see that there's a lock on them, okay? But that's okay. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to go create new project. Okay, and then we want to just give this name. So the first one we're doing is no instant death. So we want to be like no instant, let's just capitalize that, death, okay? And we want no dependencies except for the Arma Reforger, okay? When you have a dependency, it means that when somebody wants to add this to their server, they must download that mod as well. And we don't want to do that because the Enfusion engine will remove and add, the mods features as you add it on. And that doesn't make sense, but it will in a second, right? So the most important thing is we have no dependencies except for the base game, and that will always be there. And we go create. Okay, so now what will happen is it will build, and you'll be in the main screen of your workbench. And so what we want to do is just go save and then exit. Okay, we're going to do this in the easiest way. There is a more complex way of being able to add an add-on, but I want to do it this way so that it's the easiest way for you to do it. Okay, so here is our no instant death mod. You can tell it's new, it's not locked, and it has no image. So what we want to do now is we want to right click on it, and then it says open with add-ons. Okay, so we want to click on there, and the thing that we want to do is we want to add ACE Medical. Again, it doesn't really matter which ACE you use, medical system you use. So there's prototypes and medical, okay, because they all use the same config. However, if you're using ACE medical prototypes on your server, I recommend that you click on this so that you get the full config file. However, for this tutorial, we're going to do ACE medical. Okay, and then we go open. And then what we will have, once it opens, is, hang on, I've got a couple more in there. Let me just do that again, guys. I have too many add-ons in there from previous things. Okay, so we go here, go open add-ons. I just got to go there, so I need to get rid of that one. I need to get rid of this one because we're not doing that just yet. That's just from previous. So that's something you will have to do, guys, is you have to run through and make sure that your previous add-on selections from another mod that you're working on have been deselected. Okay, so it will remember the ones that you had before. So all we want is ACE Medical. Open. And then this will open here. And if you look up here, you can see that we have ACE Core and ACE Medical. So it's automatically put them both in. And it has everything. It is basically the ACE Medical mod. Okay, there's the Arma Reforger base mod, and then no insta death is here. So this is our mod here. And at the moment it's empty. This, it's obviously got its project files, but it's empty. Now, to be able to create a config file from ACE Medical, we want to go up to ACE Medical, and then we have configs here. And then you can see that we have ACE, which is actually here. So it needs this settings config from the ACE core to work. And then in here, in this one, you have all of the inventory stuff. So in here is all the bandages, the extra medical stuff that comes with ACE Medical. However, we don't care about that, but I wanted to show you it just in case you need it. What we want is we want ACE, and then we have ACE settings config. Now, if we open this here, okay, we have some settings here. Okay, if we tick this right now, so here you can see second chance on head. If we tick this and then we try to save it, so get workshop save, you can see we have a save fail. And the reason for that is that it's locked. This is a locked file, and because it belongs to ACE, okay, and it is the base file for this mod, and we cannot change it. However, this is the Enfusion bench, and the Enfusion Workbench took so long to make because it has some of the most craziest, like, overriding sort of like abilities, and it's brilliant. So to be able to make this our own so that it appears in no insta-death, we need to right click on it, okay? And we want to override into no insta-death file, okay? And it tells you there, creates a file copy into your add-on that will override this original file. And what that means is that when your mod is on your server, it will go and find this version of settings.config, I believe it is, and it will look at yours and not the base mod. So what we want to do is we want to override, and it will say, it's asking me if I want to save the changes in here, and we want to reload without saving because I made that change and I shouldn't have. And what we have now, if I just close this up, okay, is inside no insta-death, we have a configs folder, an ace folder, and then a configs folder. So what I want to do is I just want to close that for a moment because that's the one that's up here. And then what we want to do is we want to double click on this, and then this is our version of ace medical settings config. So now we can do whatever we want. Now, to be able to make sure that nobody dies immediately when they are shot in the head, we want to click second chance on head enabled. Okay. And then we want to save. Now you have made a mod. To be able to publish this, and so I'm going to do the, I think I will do this on everyone. So from here, okay, now that we've done this, it means that when we place this onto our server, the person won't die. Now you can probably see like how the next mod that we're going to make is going to be created. See, you can see heal supply usage enabled. So supply is ticked. But we'll come to this and we will rush through this part very quickly. But I also need to talk to you about something that's really important here. Okay, so from here, okay, we go workbench, we go publish to mod, okay? And then you'll see that it has screenshots and it has a preview image, contributors, so, and then categories, tags, and stuff like that. So let's start filling this out. So first and foremost, we need to create a preview. So I'm going to do this like actually on screen with you. So let's just do it. Let me just see if I can find the other ones that I've made so I can make sure it's the same. I think it might be in here somewhere. Did I? Yep, here's some more I made. So you can see I've made some here in Canva. So let's just create an actual page. Just duplicate that. No. Add new page. Okay, so what are we doing? Medical. Okay, so let's go here. Medical. Quickly make one. Let's just use this and then just make it red. Nice deep red. Put that in the center there. Okay, and let's get some text. Whoops. What did we call it? No. I forgot what to call it. It's right there on the screen. Hang on. Oops, I can't minimize that. Okay, let me just. No insta-death. Okay. No insta-death tutorial. There we go. Okay, and then, whoops, we want to go there. We're going to go download. We'll just keep it as a PNG. Okay, I'm going to make it that I'm on the current page. Go done. Download. Wait, I need to rename it. Let's call it no death. No death tutorial. Okay, so we have downloaded that. Let's go back into the Enfusion Workbench and just start that again. So Workbench, publish to workshop, and it's got preview image. We'll just go downloads. There it is. Okay, and so that's there, and we'll just put it also in here as well. We'll just put it in the preview. So maybe if you're making something else and you want to show people, you can add screenshots in here, but I've just added the same one in here. categories. This is we'll make it scenario multiplayer. This is medical, so let's make it a system and go miscellaneous as well. So you can add as many tags as you like, and then we'll just add a summary. This is the first medical config from Willow says what's tutorial. Okay, actually write an explanation of what is going on here. So don't try to tell people what the mod does, because you'll be surprised that when you publish a mod for yourself, you'll be surprised how many people will use it on their server when they are starting out. So we've all done it. We've all grabbed mods that somebody has made to use on ours as well. I forgot tags. Now tags, what do we got? No instant death. There's one. No death on headshot. Okay, that'll do. We won't do any more. Okay. So let's, yep, that's good. That's good. No instant death. Let's just make them by Willow. There we go. So you guys can find it a little bit better. And we'll go, so we just have a normal public share alike. I think I'll just leave it like, let's just leave it there. These licenses, I'll be honest, I don't really understand them. We've also built up a habit, guys, of making, don't put 1.0.0 because we've had a bug in the past that has sort of broken our publishments because it's on 0.0. So make it 0.1. Again, you don't have to, maybe this has been fixed already, but it's just a habit I've got into. So let's go publish. And then it will say, you're about to publish 0.1 megabytes. Do you wish to continue? We're going to go yes. Okay, and this config has now been published. And what we can do now is, in real time, we can minimize this. Let's go into Arma Reforger. Okay, I'm going to go into Arma Reforger and show you this just for this mod, okay? We're going to publish every mod because I know some of you, are going to skip through this to try and find the one that particularly that you need. So I'm going to make each one of these mod creations like it's its own thing. Okay, workshop. What was the name of it? No, I've forgotten it already. Headshot. We should be able to use the tag by Willow. That's not what it says, but we'll type that in anyway. Okay, nope. No insta death. There it is. Okay, you can see some other ones that I've made. No damn insta death. I made that and I thought I would. Okay, so here it is. We can click on it and it says, this is the first medical config for Willow says what's tutorial. Okay, if you're wondering, I mean, I feel like you should know how to be able to do this, but to be able to get this mod, you can just download it here. Okay, and it's enabled. And what you can do is I'm going to show you this the long way. To be able to get the JSON for this now, you can go to mod manager. If you put, so let's just enable that. Let's find it. So I think it was no insta by Willow. You just drop it in here. And then up on this, you'll see that there is a jigsaw. You can click on it. Okay, you can go to JSON. Okay, and the JSON is here and you can go copy. And then you can take that to your JSON file and add it. Remember guys, if you're adding it to the middle, make sure you put a comma. If you're adding it to the end, make sure that there is no comma. Otherwise you will get an error, which you probably know already and you've probably dealt with a million times. Okay, so that's the first one done. Okay, let's build the next one. No medkit, no supply. Now, I feel like I completely gave this to you in the last sort of section of this video, but let's do it anyway, because I think it's really important to understand that you can end up with mod conflicts by making separate config files for these things, and why it becomes really important to create core mods that encompass everything to do with medical, everything to do with weapons, and everything to do with core things like garbage collector. Okay, so let's just make this anyway so you can see how to do it. Okay, so we go straight back into Arma Reforger tools. Okay, let's go create new project, and the project will be called Medkit. Yep. No supply. Okay, and again, no dependencies because we want this to be a standalone mod. Okay, so now that we've done this, we need to save it. Okay, and then we need to close this down. Again, there is another way to do this, but I want to show you the most simplest, easy beginner way to be able to do this. Okay, Medkit no supply. You know what we should do? So this looks nice. This is our previous mod, no insta-death. Let's set thumbnails so this looks nice. So we need to go to downloads. We need to take the image that we made and go open. Okay, and now it looks nicer. Okay, so you don't end up with a whole bunch of this sort of thing. Okay, this. Okay, you don't want this. You want to be able to spot your mods in your list. Excuse me, already dropping my bad swearing. Okay, open with add-ons. Again, we're using Ace Medical, but make sure you scroll through to make sure there are no others connected. It doesn't matter because we're doing it this way. It just means that you don't end up with a massive cluttered file tree with all these, superfluous mods sitting in your window. So be clean, be tidy. Untick the ones that you're not using in this moment. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so very similar to last time, okay? So what we want to do now, okay, is we want to go to Ace Medical. Again, if you're doing this for the first time and there is nothing inside here, okay, which there isn't, okay, you need to go and override it. So let's do that now. So Ace Medical, configs. Again, you can either do it here or you can come down here. Ace, and here it is. We want to right click, override in Medkit no supply. Yes, fire away. Okay, so this is now ours. We know because there is no lock button on here. Let's go back up to Ace. Look, there's a lock icon here. Okay, we go down to ours, which is here. No lock button. Double click, it opens. And again, okay, guys, you remember, second chance on head enabled. Okay, again, we're not making this mod, so we're going to leave it unchecked. Heal supply usage enabled. Untick. Okay, Workbench, save. Congratulations, you have just made a supply box that will not need supply. Okay, so this means that all medical supply will be free. You now have unlimited medical supply from your medkit, your med box. Okay, and again, we'll go through it. Workbench. Okay, before we do that, let's go to Canva. Okay, and again, download. Okay, it's really important that you actually put a poster or an image on your publications because it just will catch people's eye. You'll be able to find it immediately. Okay, so we go done, download. Okay, it's going good. We're going good, guys. We're getting through this. Okay, so let's publish this. Workbench, publish to workshop, preview image. Again, if you want to change the name, you don't actually have to have the same name. You can most definitely change this to something else. Okay, it's up to you. I come up with some crazy names for mine, but a lot of times it's because I don't use them. Okay, and I'll show you why very soon. Okay, so medkit, no supply, done. Screenshots, we should add our medkit, no supply again. Category, okay, again, we want systems, miscellaneous, scenarios, multiplayer. Let's do scenario single player as well. Again, you can put a whole bunch of them in there. Okay, and we'll just copy and paste this. Control V. Okay, and we publish it. Do you want to add 0.1 megabytes? Yes, we do. Okay, and that is published. So the next thing that we need to do is to make a super medkit. Okay, and then we're going to go here and we're going to call this super medkit. Guys, don't bother going down into the comments and telling me that I'm doing something wrong here. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm doing this so I can show you. So if you know how to do this and you're just watching and you're starting to understand, please understand, like, I'm making these standalone mods to show people how to do this, and then afterwards I am going to make a medical core mod, okay, which is good best practice. But it's still, let's go through the learning process first, and let's not get into the comments and start writing like comments before they're needed. Okay, so let's publish that. Sorry, let's just open that. Okay, so again, guys, I always do it. I always hit save. Okay, close it back down, open Arma Reforger tools, because we're beginners and we're not going to do it the expert way. We're going to keep doing this the beginner way. So we open it up again, but this time we're going to open it with add-ons. Add-ons, we need Ace Medical again. Okay, scroll down to make sure that we have nothing else ticked. Again, it doesn't matter if it's ticked, but we want to do best practice. And the best practice is to leave add-ons that we are not using out of here until we need them. Open. Again, this will become more obvious later. Okay, so we've loaded this up. And again, we're going to go to Ace Medical. Okay, configs. Okay, Ace. This one, and we're going to right click on this. We're going to go override to our mod, which is Super Medkit. Awesome that I have no spelling mistakes in there. Okay, and then we double click on this and it opens. Okay, so this time, again, we're not doing second chance on head. We're not disabling supply. We're coming down here to find out this, okay? This says medical kit max heal scaled. And basically it tells you here what it does. Whoops, lost it. Max scale heal from 0, no heal, to 1, which means that you will heal the person completely back to normal. Right now, it's halfway, which means that once you healed the majority of serious injuries, there will still be an option to heal. However, it will be grayed out and you will not be able to do any more healing, okay? And that's because we have a scale here. Now, you can scale this from, like, maybe you could scale it down to 0.25, which means that it will let you do some things. Actually, it might not let you do anything. And then you can also do 0.75, which will allow you to maybe heal a little bit more, but not fully. But if we want to heal it completely, we want to make it 1, okay? So now this is at max heal, okay? And we want to go save. This means that you will have, this is great for people who have small communities who don't have time to be able to run around with an ambulance. So you need all men in the fight. However, on the larger communities, I recommend you leave it at 0.5. You leave supply enabled and you have a dedicated ambulance driver, okay? And a casualty collection point, a CCP. But for smaller communities and for PvP, this is perfect. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, so again, we want to save. I can't remember if I did already. Save. There we go. Save is successful. Okay, we want to go up. The first thing we need to do now is, what is this called? Super Medkit. We need to go to Canva. There we go. And we want to go up here. Download. We want to do currently selected page because I have way too many things in here. Okay, download. Super med kit, save, get that out the way, and let's start publishing. Again, Workbench, publish to workshop. We're going to keep the same name as it is because why not? Preview image we have just made. Let's go to downloads, super medkit. Because this is a config file and we're not really showing off what we're doing, we're just going to put the same image in here. Categories, we want systems, miscellaneous. We want to use both scenarios, and then we want to do this is the tutorial. Oh my goodness. And then we'll just copy and paste that in. Again, guys, you should be writing in here what you have done, what this mod does. Okay, so I should have things like turn places healing to 1. And then people who are coming to use it will understand that this is a mod for complete healing. And then we want to sort of check. Yes, we want to use it. I got to keep forgetting to do that. Again, this is not important. Publish. We want to publish, and that is on the bench. We can do a quick check if you'd like. So you can see them. You can see the meds on the workbench. Workshop. Let's just type my name in. Okay, so you can start to see them now. So there's the Medkit one, Super Medkit, Medkit no supply. Are we missing one? Super Medkit tutorial, medical there we go. No insta-death tutorial. Okay, so there they are. And you can see also by using the same layout, you create a theme to your mods, the way they look. So that's something I recommend doing. You can see it's there. Let's show you how to do the rest of them first. Okay, so we have done no insta-death, no medical, no super medkit, okay? And it's important, I want to preface this now in case there are some people who know what they're doing and they're getting a little annoyed at me. We're going to very soon place this into one mod, because having all these mods override the same file can cause conflicts. So there is no reason why this can't be one mod, because it overrides the same file, but we will come to that very soon. Okay, so let's go and do no vanilla weapons next. New project, and we're going to call this no vanilla weapons. Okay, and again, we just need to come down here and make sure that there's nothing ticked. Nope, no dependencies are ticked. Go create. Okay, so to be able to do this, we need to open here. Configs. Okay, so whenever we're making a config file, whether we're looking into Arma Reforger or other mods, the first place to look, because sometimes, once you get past this tutorial, you're on your own. So you're going to have to try and find these files on your own. So, for example, it's really important to note that we're standing on the shoulders of giants here. So you can jump onto YouTube and you can find this video that teaches you to do this. But it's important to understand that the majority of us had to learn to do this ourselves. So now that we're inside configs, okay, you think we'd need to go to Arsenal, right? But it's not. What we need to do is we need to go down to the entity catalog here. And again, we're going to go US. We're going to do this on US. So we're going to imagine that we're running a PvE server, okay? Because the likelihood of wanting to remove sniper rifles or vanilla weapons from a PvP server seems a little bit unlikely. So it tends to be like a PvE server owner who is more likely wanting to get rid of this. So we're going to go US, okay? And we're going to go to, maybe it's this one. Yep. So vehicle inventory items, entity catalog for the US, right? And you can see here we have weapons, ammunition, attachments, backpacks and vests, clothes, and etc. However, as you can see, we still have the lock, okay? So we're going to have to override this. So we right click on the inventory items entity catalog for US. And this is available in all of them. So we can go down to the USSR. You can see down in the USSR, we have inventory items, entity catalog, USSR. So what I'm showing you on the US can be duplicated or replicated, I should say, on all factions. So let's go here, right click, override in no vanilla weapons, POW. Okay, and again, remember, this is the locked one. So we need to close this, and we need to open this one. And again, you don't actually need to close it. You can just double click and it will just go to this one. But we're trying to do things correctly so that you learn. So now we have our entity catalog. This is the arsenal, okay? And to be able to disable, that's the word, disable weapons, there is just a tick box right here, Okay, and it will even tell you here. Now watch, here is a handgun, 9mm. If we click this, it changes to disabled. It also makes it bold because the Enfusion Workbench highlights changes. Okay, so what we can do now is we can just go through. Again, we're doing this the beginner way. We're going to go through and we're going to disable all these weapons. All the way down. Where are we up to? Rifles. Okay, guys, by the power of editing, I'm now going to finish this now. Okay, guys, so now all vanilla weapons are disabled. Now, of course, we can come here and we can remove all the ammo as well, but let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. Okay, you can also go through and get rid of all the vanilla attachments if we want, but let's just do what the mod said, and it wants us to get rid of all vanilla weapons. It didn't say weapon and ammo. So again, guys, we got our star next to our thing, so let's save it. I'm just going to hit Control S, okay, so that it saves. Okay, you can see down here, it's saved. So let's quickly go and make ourselves a mod. Okay, sorry, not a mod, an image. Okay, guys, so I've just made that really quick. Okay, so let's publish this now. Okay, so no vanilla weapons, preview. And we need to get our image, which I just made. And then this one, no vanilla weapons tutorial. So if you want to use contributors, guys, you need to be able to add someone via their Bohemia account email. But I think most of you are going to be working on your own, so it's not a big deal. Again, effects, single, multiplayer, weapons. Okay, because we can now add a weapon. Yep, okay, let's just go publish. Yep, we're about to publish something very tiny. Okay, so guys, hopefully you remember how to do that. Again, if you don't, go back and watch it again. It's very, very simple. These configs are amazingly simple. So let's just close that down. Okay, so we've done no vanilla weapons. Let's do the garbage collector now. We want to go new project. And I think I called it the best garbage collector. Let's put that as a capital. Okay, so garbage collector. We need to go back into configs in Arma Reforger. So again, you know, we can see we have no add-ons or anything like that. We just go straight to the garbage collector, come here. Okay, configs. And then we need to go down to systems. Okay, guys. So you have system and systems, and I believe it's here. And then we need to go to the Chimera state config. Chimera systems config. Okay, and I'll just open this one real quick so we can see. Okay, and the reason for that is it has, oh my god, it's crazy the amount of like systems that are in here. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, and so what we want to do, let me just close that up. Okay, so what we want to do is, rather than trying to look through here and continue looking and looking and looking and stuff like that, what we want to do is we want to try and find the garbage system. Okay, and the best way to do that is to come here and type in garbage. Okay, like that. And you'll see that in systems, we've got a couple of pop-ups. Okay, lifetime reset percentage. Okay, lots of stuff popping up, but you can see that the garbage system post frame is what we want. Okay, and let me just see if I can close this up. There you go. Okay, so you can see here in here we have it that it's enabled. It's important that it is enabled, otherwise you're just going to end up with a server that's just full of assets, and especially if you are playing, say, Conflict PvE or Conflict, all those assets will tend to be saved. So when you come back in after server restart, they won't be collected. So it's really important that it's turned on. Okay. So what we want to do now is, Okay, we don't need that one. It's rules. So here in rules, we want to click on here, and it will have Chimera character, which is an AI. I should just pull them all up so you can. Yep. Okay. So you have 4 of them here. Okay. So a Chimera character, which is an AI, an inventory component, which is like everything from weapons to anything that's dropped on the floor and stuff like that. You have vehicles, so abandoned vehicles or vehicles within your vicinity. And then, actually, I don't think we won't even worry about the 4th one. So we only want these 3. So basically what this says is that if you're playing PvE or PvP and a person is killed or an AI is killed, it basically says, how long should this body of the dead person or the dead AI linger in world, and under what conditions? So the first thing we have here is the priority. Don't worry about priority. That means that the garbage collector says, should I delete this first or should I delete it whenever? And we put it here because it's not a priority, okay? It's not a priority to delete this. It's just something that needs to be done when there is a lull in its processing. Again, not important, okay? This is just so that it knows that it's an AI or a dead body, okay? It's telling you collect. This says that remove this entity only if its state is destroyed, okay? Again, a lot of the times that works on vehicles. So we're just going to leave it unticked because the collect filter will deal with it. Okay. It'll say the lifetime. So, and it also means that like, if an enemy is dead, if you shoot an enemy dead or like a player dead in PvP or an AI in PvE, it doesn't immediately disappear. So if you click this, there is a chance that it will immediately delete the entity, and we don't want that. Okay, this says the lifetime, so let's just bring up that. Okay, this basically says when a state is met, how long should it wait before deleting it? So basically what that means is like, if we come down to here, okay, player distance, okay, so example, this, if this lifetime, this will be like, if the player is I think that's like 3.5 meters away, I believe. Let me just have a look how far. Yep, that's distance. If there is no players within 3.5 meters of this dead body, start this countdown, and I believe that's half an hour. Start counting down, okay, from half an hour, and when you get to 0, collect this dead person / enemy. So I'll say that again. When this is ticked, if a player is 3.5 meters away from the dead body, I'm just going to call it dead body, start a countdown of 600 seconds, which is half an hour. When you get to 0, collect this dead enemy. Okay, so that's AI. Inventory components. Okay, so collect, yes. A lot of the inventory components cannot be destroyed. So this remains unticked. Okay. At 300 seconds, okay, if a player is within 3.5 meters, collect. Okay, so that's, again, that is weapons, ammunition, empty mags, bandages that are dropped, scopes that are dropped, collect them. Vehicles. Okay, again, let's start at the bottom again. If a player is 25 meters or more away from a vehicle, okay, the player, if a player is 25 meters or more away from a vehicle, you need to count for 1,200 seconds. What's that? It's an hour is 600 seconds. I don't know. Freaking ages. Okay. Collect the vehicle. Okay. And what you can do now is you can start fixing, and I know that was a huge long explanation. I apologize. Okay. So what you can do now is you can start editing this. So let's start with vehicles. Okay. We want a vehicle to be collected when a player is should we say let's say 400 meters. Okay, so when a player is 400 meters away from a vehicle, we want you to start counting, and we want it to be, let's make it 5 minutes. Yeah. So actually, yeah, so 600 seconds is not fucking 60 minutes, 5 minutes, my bad. Okay, so 300 seconds is 5 minutes. So what we have now is when everybody is almost half a kilometer away from this vehicle, it'll count down for 5 seconds, and if no one enters that radius again, it will delete it. However, if it does enter the distance, okay, it will reset. It will reset, okay, and it will wait until a person has left that radius again, and it will begin the countdown. Okay, so there's our vehicles. So our vehicles will now despawn after 5 minutes when players are more than 400 meters away from that vehicle. Okay, and the same with this stuff. Maybe this is perfect. So if a player, okay, is, let's say, 50 meters away from any inventory that's been dropped on the floor, we'll make it wait 5 minutes, and then it will delete it. Okay, that's reasonable. Enemy. If a player is 200 meters, 200 meters outside of, now we should make that bigger. So if a player is 400 meters outside of the radius, so basically outside of a town, maybe the middle of the town, there's been a gunfight. If the players have left for the next objective, wait 10 minutes. Wait 10 minutes, okay, and then it will collect. Okay, and I'll tell you what, that's pretty much a garbage collector there. That's a pretty good garbage collector. And you can come in, remember, and adjust this as much as you want. However, the first thing we need to do now is save. So I'm going to hit Control S, saved. Oh, wait, it's because I'm doing it on the thing. So let me just, we don't want to save it because, yep, so I was doing it on the wrong file. So you will do this a lot. Let me just quickly do this correctly because I got lost in my thing. We need to go to configs, main configs, yes. Systems. Okay, and let's override. My bad, override. Okay, and I showed you what to do. So I'll quickly go through and do that again. Okay, I've talked way too much about this one. Let's go save. Okay, and then we want to go here. And we want to make ourselves a very quick poster. Yep, that looks like a McDonald's bin. That'll catch people's eyes. Excellent. Workbench. Just do a quick save. Make sure that's saved. Yep. Published a workshop. The best garbage collector. Preview image. Okay. Categories. Miscellaneous. There. Okay, this is a garbage tutorial. Okay, again, let's grab this. Control C, Control V. Go. Oh, let's change that to 1 just so we don't get the problem, and go publish. We're going to upload that. Okay. And then we're going to, I have this unnecessary habit of just continually clicking save. So apologies for that. Okay, and now, so the next two is like no sniper scopes and no sniper rifles. And I feel like we kind of touched on this on here, so I'm not going to make these, okay? Because the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to prevent mod conflictions, because they're going to conflict. So this is going to conflict, this is going to conflict, and then this one is not. This one's fine, but these ones will most definitely conflict. So I need to teach you now how to be able to create mods that can hold all these, okay? And it's very simple, but I'm going to do it because it's really important that you see me do it. So let's do that now. So you can see now that I've changed my background on my desktop here so that you can see how we can take all the mods that we just made and we can place them into core config mods for our server. So for example, we have here, I've used my name, so Willow core. So you're welcome to like your name core or your server name core. You don't even have to use core, but it just gives it a ring. So you can see here I have Willow core medical, Willow core arsenal, and then Willow core, which is a bit of a server joke, but you don't have to call it that. But I call it Willow core. You can call it Willow core. It doesn't need to be that stupid. But so as you can see, like in each of these mods now, I have placed the concept that we were looking at before. And what this does is it prevents conflicts. And basically what I mean by conflict is that if we looked at our medical, if we looked at how we built no insta-death, no medkit, no supply, and super medkit, it all uses the same config file. Okay, that file was exactly the same file. It was Ace Medical's settings file. And so what we can do is we can put all of that onto, we can tick, we can change the numbers, and we can untick all in the same place. And there is no point having 3 separate publications for that. So to be able to fix that, you can just put it into a single medical core. So let's start by doing that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you something that could be very useful. So we will open up Reforger tools. Okay, let's just make this look nicer. Okay, so this is medkit no supply. Downloads. Medkit no supply. Open with add-on. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Set thumbnails. This is super medkit. Super medkit. Okay, can you see now how this is starting to look nice? This is no vanilla. No vanilla. And then the best damn. Did I make one for this? I think I did. Garbage collector. There we go. Okay, so that's starting to look a little bit nicer now. Like if we spread that out, like that's starting to look nice now. You can see a pattern in our config files. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the core file that will encompass this. So, and we're going to go one step further as well, because I think it's really important that you see this. So we're going to create new project, and we're going to call this, it's going to be difficult for me to call this because I already have this file. So Willow core, medical shoot. Okay, just so it doesn't conflict with other ones. So we're going to create, and once that pops open, we're going to just save it. Save, file save. We don't need to save, but okay. And then again, because we're beginners, we're doing this the easy way, the beginner way, not necessarily the easy way. Okay, and then we're going to open with add-ons. Okay, so I've unticked that for a reason, right? It's because Ace Medical is not the highest abstraction of Ace Medical. Okay, the actual highest abstraction of Ace Medical, and you might never use this and you might never need to do this, but I think it's important that you see this. So if we go to Ace Medical prototypes, this is the next mod that sits on top of Ace Medical, and it basically creates Arma 3 Ace Medical. So CPR, using different drugs, having to check pulse and blood pressure and stuff like that. So I want to tick this one because the exact same settings config is more detailed. And it's really interesting that you see this. So let's go. We're going to open this up. So we've opened this now in Ace Medical. So now what you'll see is we have Ace Core, Ace Medical, and Ace Medical prototypes. Now, if we open the config, okay, so we're doing this exactly the same as we've done 3 times already. So I went Ace, so Ace Medical, Ace, okay, settings config. So I'm just going to open this up here so you can see this, okay? So this looks exactly the same as we've had before. Can you see? Okay, you can see, except it has these 2 strange things on the bottom. And they don't do anything. Can you see that? They don't do anything. They're just there, okay? And the reason those 2 are there is because Ace Medical prototypes has sort of been brought into the workbench. Okay, so it leaves these two things available here. The only difference is though, is I've opened this config in the middle mod. So these are not available. Oh, they are available. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so it's really important that you see that. Okay, so now if I just get rid of that, we don't want to save anything. We can't save anything. Okay, so you just saw that extra part to that config file. Now if I close this down, okay, because we're beginners, okay, and we're opening it up here, and if I go open with add-ons, and then I remove ACE prototypes and put ACE medical in, if I go open now, you'll see that the config file, ACE medical, configs, ACE, settings, you can see that it's changed. Those options are no longer available. And so if you plan to have ACE medical prototypes on your server, you can actually configure, or you can begin to configure it now. And to be able to do that, you can, we just reopen this again. You can start your configuration and continue to configure whenever you want by starting with the highest abstraction of the mod that you're using. So for us right now, it's ACE medical prototypes. Okay, and so prototypes is here. Again, it doesn't matter where you get the config from because it all looks the same. So you can see that it's there. You see that that's there. That's there. I can even go back to core configs, ACE settings. Okay. Okay, that one's locked because obviously it has a higher abstraction. But if we go to here, this one, okay, it's here. And you can see that it's not readily available, but if you double click, it is available. But if we just shut that down, it'll ask if we want to save. We don't want to save. But if we close that down and then go to ACE medical prototypes and go configs, you can see that it's all there because this is the highest abstraction. Okay. And this is why what we can do is we can go in and we can make changes on this. So supply enabled, no. Second chance on head, yes. So now we've made two of our mods. So super medkit, no insta death, and then we want no, sorry, that's not super medkit. That's no supply for medkit, and then we will make our. Hang on a sec, guys. Let me just actually override it before I do this. Okay, apologies. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Okay, so let me just. It's gonna ask if I want to save it. Nope. So let's go into here. Okay, right click on here, override into Willow Core medical tutorial. Okay, and that's done. Then we can go in here, ACE, configs, and we can open this. Okay, now we have the one that we should be doing. Okay, so let's just make the mods that we did in this one. So first thing is we need to make sure no insta death. Okay, no instant death is done. No supply. No supply. So now we can heal people and we can get things out of the medkit for free. We want super medkit. Okay, super medkit is done. Perfect. But what we can also do is if we are using the more advanced things, like let's say here, for example, we want to start organizing like this really in-depth thing here, which again, like it can be really scary to do this. Okay, so you don't have to change any of this. This is perfect as default, but let's just say like, oh, it's taking too long. It's taking too long to check the success rate. So this is 22 seconds. Let's just make it 15 seconds. Okay, guys, like again, don't worry about what I'm doing here. Like you're going to need to watch like an ACE medical like config video on how to do this. So I'm not going to go into depth of it. Let's just say we make this one change, right? And then we're going to save it. Okay, I'm going to save it. Maybe we'll make it as well that we're above this that we're working with. Okay, we'll make it that the AI can also have a cardiac arrest. So let's just save it again. Okay, and then so we've made all these changes, right, to this more advanced medical system. And we also made ourselves our little original config mod here. So all the ones that we made. If we close this down now, and we're going to imagine, okay, and we start this back up because we're new and we don't know how to do it the other way because we're beginners. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go like open with add-ons, right? But instead of using Ace Medical prototypes, if we use Ace Medical, okay, we go open, okay, what you're going to find is all the beginner stuff here is the same. Can you see? Second chance on head. So no insta headshot is still here. Supply is still turned off. Medkit is still at max. However, the more advanced features that we have saved and configured are not available because you don't need it for Ace Medical. So what this means is that you can configure your config. Maybe you set up your server for a really like intense experience, like hardcore, not even hardcore, but hardcore, let's say, PvE. And then what you do is you reset the server so that it's completely beginner friendly. Like next week, you want to make a completely beginner friendly version of your server because you can do that. You can be completely flexible with your server. The thing is you don't want Ace Medical on, but at the same time, you don't want to make a new config mod or you don't want to change your medical config. You don't have to because the Enfusion engine will just remove temporarily the settings that are not for Ace Medical. And then maybe the week after we decide that, or maybe we're 3 days in and the whole community goes, this is garbage, bring back Ace Medical prototypes. You don't have to do anything because, and if we watch now, we shut this down, okay? And then we open up the tools again. Okay, and we open up this and we go open with Ace Medical prototype. So let's imagine now on our server, we've taken Ace Medical off and we've placed, well, we don't take Ace Medical off, obviously. We now add Ace Medical prototype. So we have a harder medical system. And if we watch, the engine immediately brings back the harder settings without us having to do anything. And you can see the settings are exactly the same as we changed. So it doesn't, if you have to sit here for hours and mod all these little things because you want it to be a little bit better, maybe the default heart rate is not 80. Maybe it's 75 on your server. Default stroke volume, which I have no idea what that means. You're like, oh, maybe I'll make it 100. The thing is when you change back to Ace Medical, it doesn't delete these settings from your config file. It keeps it ready for the next time you use Ace Medical. And this is available on all ideas. So now that we've built this, I'll show you the exact same example now on the weapons. But before we get to doing that, let's save this. Actually, let's not publish this, guys, because I've published enough now that you know how to do it. I don't want to keep adding garbage to my my portfolio on the workshop. So let's not deploy this one. So this is how we do it. So now what we have is all 3 of the mods that we've made into one. And these are add-ons. They are not dependencies. So when you click on them in the workshop, these will not show up as dependencies. It also means that you have that flexibility that I just showed you. If you make Ace Medical prototype a dependency of your core mod, you will never be able to do what I just showed you. But if you make it an add-on, you can continuously flip between Ace Medical and Ace Medical prototypes and never have to change anything here. You'll never have to delete a dependency. You'll never have to add a dependency. This is ready for you to use now. It's very, very good the way it does this. Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay, so using the same idea and showing you how you can go up and down the abstractions. So Ace Medical prototypes. You can do the same thing with your Willow Core Arsenal. So let's start by making the Willow Core Arsenal now. Okay, so here we have it, okay? So let's just save. We don't need to save, but I have a habit of doing it. Okay, and we start it up again because we're beginners and we don't know how to do it the other way. Okay, and here it is, okay? And this time we're gonna open with add-ons. Okay, and again, you can see that the ones from last time are still ticked, so we're going to untick it. Okay, so what we're going to do this time to start with is we're just going to start with the vanilla, so we can do the vanilla first. So let's just do that. Let's do the same thing there. Configs, editable, prefabs editable. Did I click on? Sorry, configs. There we go. Entity catalog. US. Inventory items. Okay, and we're going to override it to Willow. Let's open it. By the power of editing, I'll just quickly get this done. Okay guys, so there we have it. Our first mod that we made, no vanilla weapons in the arsenal. Okay, so there are no vanilla weapons in the arsenal. Okay, the next thing we want to do is no snipers. So I've got rid of the sniper rifles here and here. So let's go to ammunition. Let's find the magazine M14s. We'll just remove that real quick so that there are no snipers at all. Or even if somebody accidentally, say, spawns with a sniper rifle, they can't get ammo. Okay, and then we want to get rid of the no sniper scopes. So here we go, weapons attachments, optics. So let's just go through and just get rid of these. Guys, if you want to know how I know this is a sniper rifle, I'm looking at the picture, sniper scope. I'm looking at the image. Okay, guys, I'm not some sort of weapon expert or anything like that, guys. I'm looking at the image next to me, and if it looks like a sniper scope, I am disabling it. So there, we've done it. We've made, what was the other? No scopes, no rifles, no vanilla weapons. Okay, perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this, okay? But what we've done now is when it comes to the no snipers and no sniper scopes is that we've only done vanilla. So what happens if we add like RHS? So let's say if we add RHS status quo here, okay? So we come in here, Arma Reforger tools. Okay, okay, so let's say you're a beginner, right? So if I just show you this, so let's go open with add-ons and we'll go down to RHS status quo. Okay, and go open. Okay, so if you do this, if I am correct, yeah, so if you just add RHS to your server, okay, it does not, if you notice, there's still only 18 weapons in here. It doesn't automatically add it to your arsenal. And so what you can do is you can go into your weapons here and you can add an entity catalog entry like that. So now we have, where is it? We have 19 weapons, okay? And I believe it's down the bottom here. So you can see no prefab. And then what you can do is you can go in here and then you can go to the RHS and then you can get a prefab. Oh my God. Okay. Holy crap. However, and this is why like the community is, let me just get rid of that. So let me just go click and then it's 18 again. Okay. But the thing is there are people in the community who are working hard to ensure that like things like this are dealt with. So you don't have to do it. So there is a huge difference between being a server owner and a modder. Okay. There's a huge difference, okay? One is somebody who builds communities, and the other person is the person who builds mods, okay? So it's not your job as a server owner to be placing RHS assets into your arsenal. There are people out there who have already done this. So to be able to find them, okay, you pretty much, let me just close this down. Okay, we want to go into Arma Reforger. What am I doing? It's already open. There we go. Go into Arma Reforger. Okay, we go to workshop. And what we can do is you can type in RHS to vanilla arsenal. Okay. And you're going to come up with a whole bunch of these mods. Okay. You can see there's so many. There's so many of them. Okay. But let's just use this one. So this one's by Arctic Fox Actual. Okay, so we're going to jump you're going to download it. So make sure you download it. Okay, so I've obviously downloaded it. The thing is though, is most of them I've checked are the same. So I believe if you use, you can use any of them, and if you just use this as an add-on to prepare it, your config file will work with all of them. Okay, so let's go back out here, and then we are going to go to our workbench. Okay, Willow Core Arsenal tutorial, open add-ons. Okay, so we want to add RHS, which is ticked already. And then what we want to do is we want to find this one, which was the 105th RHS to vanilla Arsenal. So this is basically like assisting you, it's saving you time. Okay, it's saving you time. So all the stuff is going to be added in this config already. Okay, we're going to open it up. So what you want to do is you want to come here. You're going to come here, and because we have this vanilla Arsenal, RHS to vanilla Arsenal mod, I believe if we go to the original one that we did from vanilla, let me just click on here and have a look. Yeah, so if you notice now, weapons have gone from 18 to 67. And if we go here, now what we have is a shit ton of weapons. Okay, and you can see we have rifle, launcher, machine gun, sniper rifle. Okay, they are written in a way that they can be found immediately, and it's brilliant. Okay, and we can turn that off. We can turn that off. Turn that off. Okay, and then let's quickly go down into ammo for sniper rifles. Sniper rifle magazines here. Kapow. Yep. And this will just stop people from being able to like basically somehow get around. That's also a sniper rifle magazine there. Okay, again, I'm rushing through weapon attachments, guys. Optics. That's disabled. Light optic. Again, I have to go through here. Actually, I think they start somewhere around here. There's a Leopold there. That's... Yep. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm not going to do it anymore, okay, guys, because I'm just going to delete this mod. But that's what you want to do. You want to go through, check all the mods for your no snipers. And then what we can do is we can save it. Okay. But let's just say that the person, the 105 mod that we're using here, this one here, let's say somebody unpublishes this. I want to show you how it doesn't actually affect if you use somebody else's, because everybody is, even though they're all called different names, whoops, they are all the same mod. They're all doing the same things. If we go here, we go open with add-on. Okay, so this one, get rid of. Now, let's see if I have another one in here. So there it is. Okay, so we're going to add that and go open. Okay, and if we go down to Willow Core Arsenal tutorial, remember we built this in the other mod. But if we go into here, okay, you can see that all the weapons are still here. Yeah, so it doesn't matter which like RHS to vanilla Arsenal mod you use, it will still allow you to use the original config from the first one you used. So as you change mods that bring in this stuff, okay, the original mod that you made still is here. Now, of course, like this one, so this RHS vanilla Arsenal might have more or less weapons in there, because if you notice that says 67, I think the last one was like 80. It's because this person hasn't updated since RHS has built and released more weapons, or they haven't bothered. So, there will be moments like that, but adding all these weapons by clicking here and then finding them and adding them is a nightmare. So it's better to go through and find the a mod that will allow you to instantly add them and then disable the ones that you don't like. So there you go. Again, it shows you how amazing the Enfusion Workbench is when it comes to flexibility. Multiple people who have publishers, so that's called multiple publishers with different names, all doing the same thing, allowing you, doesn't matter which one you use, will give you the weapons and to be able, the same config file. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. All right. So now that I've showed you that, let me just see what else on this particular mod. So we've got no snipers, no vanilla, no, and we have done it on Enfusion as well. So again, if you add like a Shadows AK-105 and you want to remove, like, say, the snipers or the different variants, like say the black one you want, and you only want like the other colored one, or maybe you only want the black one, this is the same thing. You can add it in. You can come to this. You will find, actually, you won't find his, oh yes, you do. It is available in US now. So you'll find his AK-105 in here, and you can either disable the ones you want and you do not want. And then if you remove the AK-105, it doesn't affect this. Just the AK-105 options in here will disappear. Okay, and finally, of course, your Willow Core, which should be pretty simple now that you understand that you can add multiple things into the same core. All right, guys, I think I've pretty much taught you everything you need to know. I guess eventually I will make a second video that has way more in-depth things for you to do. So maybe we'll start looking at, I guess, like things like how to be able to create your own default loadouts on the screen so that they're ready for you to use. So that's something we can do a little later. But right now, I think the main thing for most beginner server members to have is at least know how to make a core mod. And you'll find that there's probably a video out there that has like, you know, lots and lots of mods that are good for beginner servers to use. However, I think this is like one that will really help you to tidy up the mess that can come from having like 40 mods on your server. So once you learn the basics of this, it's then just a matter of browsing through config files to find what you're looking for. This is the biggest learning curve, is to find where things are. You might understand how to do it, but how to find it is the hardest thing. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to this video and my channel. There's so much more to come. We got like years and years of Arma Reforger and Arma 4. It's going to be the same, made from the same workbench, this one. So if you can learn this in Arma Reforger, you're going to be able to become very proficient in Arma 4. All right, guys. See you later.